Liverpool have gone 16 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. Liverpool need 6 more wins to confirm themselves as Premier League champions for 24-25. A season of excellence has resulted in Liverpool winning the league title, or very close to winning the league title. But guys, if you're new here, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And guys, don't mind the way I'm speaking. It's because I got my aligners in for my teeth, so it sounds like I've got a lisp, but I don't. But it sounds pretty cool though. I haven't heard myself sound like this for a long time, but it's only for a short space of time. And watch, in this video, I'm going to be saying S words the whole time, not swear words, but it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen by accident. But let's get into the nitty gritty of what we're here to talk about. Is that Liverpool have beaten Southampton 3-1 at Anfield to go 16 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. Albeit Arsenal have 2 games in hand. At this point in the season, I don't think it really matters how many points Liverpool are ahead, because I think the title, will be confirmed very, very soon. And 6 more wins is what does it for Liverpool. Unless Arsenal lose more games. But the most important thing today was getting the 3 points. And look, on paper, this looked like the formality for Liverpool, and eventually ended to be so. Liverpool won the game 3-1. But that's not how the first half or how the entire game went or how the story was panned out. Southampton actually took the lead at Anfield and were very, very decent in that first half. Liverpool very, very poor, apart from maybe Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch. Thought everybody else was a bit off it. And on the back of a PSG performance where, they did give a lot in the game and didn't manage to didn't play well, I should rather say. Today was a good way of kind of getting back into form, and I thought there'd be much more rotation, but it was basically the first team playing. McAllister was rested for Jones. Tsimikas came in for Robertson, but apart from that, it was generally the Liverpool's first team, and Nunez was in centrally for Diogo Jota. But apart from that, it was pretty much a very, very similar side to what played against Paris Saint-Germain. And that first half showed the tired legs that Liverpool had. They weren't good in possession. They weren't good out possession. And Southampton took the lead. Like I said before, it was Smallbone, a little mix-up between Virgil van Dijk and Alisson. And Smallbone pounce is very, very reminiscent of what happened at Arsenal last season, where Liverpool lost 3-1. But today was a bit different, where Liverpool had that error in the game and won 3-1. So I think that's a nice change and a lot of positivity, because everything points towards a Liverpool title winning season, because last season it was a 3-1 loss when that happened, and this season a 3-1 win when that happened. So it looks very, very promising. But look, first half wasn't great, and I don't want to really talk about the first half too much. Nunez, by the way, he absolutely swiped Kyle Walker-Peters, and I was looking at it. I was like, "Oh, this could be a red card here. This could be a red card." And thank God he got yellow card for that, because Kyle Walker-Peters got past him, and he literally just swiped him, and he fell to the floor. And I was like, Darwin, why have you gone and done that? But look, generally speaking, I don't know what Slot said to them in the second half or at half time, but second half they came out a different team. And I think he did make a few changes. Obviously, Harvey Elliott came on for Dominic Szoboszlai. McAllister was on for Jones, or you can swap either of them two around. And Tsimikas was off, and Robertson came on. And those substitutions made a difference, because Liverpool scored very, very quickly in the second half. Luis Diaz, who was very, very poor in the first half, had a very, very good second half, put a cross in for Darwin Nunez. He eventually got the goal. Nunez then involved again, wins the penalty. Mo Salah converts as he always does. And then finally, Liverpool had a penalty again. Sugawara's handball, and Salah scores again. But Harvey Elliott was involved a lot. He looked very, very precise on the ball, looked very, very clean on the ball, and looked like he was creating a lot of chances. And he looked very, very comfortable in possession. McAllister, it's probably one of the best games I've seen him play, and it was one half of football. Just controlled the entire game, dictated the whole tempo, played a bit more deeper than Ryan Gravenberch, but he controlled the entire midfield. Everything was going for him. It was like watching Thiago, where Thiago sits in that pivot role by himself, and they just kept playing in the ball, and McAllister was turning around, springing passes left, right, and centre. We saw Trent inverting sometimes as well to kind of help with that. But more often than not, Alexis McAllister was running the show. And I tweeted it as well. Alexis McAllister is running the show here. And yes, it is Southampton. Yes, it is a team that's bottom of the Premier League. But it's still a Premier League game, which you have to win, especially when Liverpool are losing. And a flat Anfield in the first half resulted in a second half of complete and utter Liverpool dominance. The crowd were behind the team. I had Diaz's chance, Slot's chance, Nunez's chance, Mo Salah, McAllister, Alexander-Arnold as well. But generally speaking, the second half was pretty dominant from Liverpool. Alisson virtually had nothing to do. And you look at the likes of Elliott, who came on for Szoboszlai, again making an impact. You look at McAllister making another impact again, as he's done in the last couple of weeks, especially with his goal against Newcastle. It just looked very, very positive. And one player I'm most happy for is Darwin Nunez. He's a man that's been criticised massively. Massively. He's 10 games without a goal. And in the last 2 games, he's coming against Paris Saint-Germain. He wins a header against Marquinhos, composed, plays the ball into Harvey Elliott, and Harvey Elliott is able to slot it away. Today, he gets himself on the score sheet, he wins the penalty, and he's applauded off. So, look, I said this about Darwin Nunez. He's a man that lacks consistency, but what you can't knock him for is his desire to work for the team and the desire to get stuck in and do well for the team, because players like Nunez, they thrive on confidence, they thrive on motivation. And look, ultimately, whatever happens with him in the summer, I've enjoyed the last 3 years. Sometimes I was very, very frustrated, but generally speaking, he's given us some great moments in Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, the Real Madrid flick. He's given us the Brentford game this season. And today he had a very, very good game. And now he got assists for Elliott against Paris Saint-Germain. So he can do it, Darwin Nunez. It's about just the fine-tuning whether he can keep composed in these situations, whether he can be consistent in these situations. I think that's always been the question mark about Darwin Nunez. Never about his quality, never about his tenacity, his ability. It's always been about consistency and whether he can do it week in, week out, which is the same thing. But look, whatever happens with Darwin Nunez, I'm always going to wish him the very, very best, whether he stays or whether he goes, because I want him to do well. I enjoy him as a footballer, and I think all Liverpool fans do love him deep down and have a soft spot for Nunez. Whatever your opinion of Darwin Nunez is, whether you want him to stay, whether you want him to go, we all have supported Darwin Nunez the best to our ability. And some fans have kind of stopped doing that, but I think the general basis of him, that he is, you know, it gives you a dopamine rush when Nunez does well, because he's cost a load of money. You know, you want to see him do well. He always works his socks off, and I think he's spoken so highly about by like the likes of Mo Salah, saying I love playing with him. He's a lot important player for us. He said it today as well, and you can see why in games like this, where you need to stretch the defense when you're sitting in a low block and they're trying to play on the counter attack. You need somebody that can kind of stretch the defense a bit back, and somebody with a bit of pace to get in behind. And Nunez is that player. And I hope that if he stays, he can fine-tune his finishing. If he goes, I wish him the best, and hopefully he scores a lot of goals for wherever he signs for, because I know he can score goals. He scored 20-odd goals last season in all competitions, albeit if we had Europa League football. He can score goals. 20. If you score 20 goals in a season, no matter the competition you're in, you're a good striker. And, you know, maybe he's not the striker to win Liverpool the league starting week in, week out, but he's definitely contributed to doing so. And 16 points clear. As you can see the table behind me, Liverpool on 70, Arsenal on 54, and Nottingham Forest on 51. It bodes really, really well, especially after Forest's victory over Manchester City, which was a very, very good result for Nottingham Forest's credentials to win the Champions League. They have done it before, European Cup, but to get into the Champions League next season, especially because England are currently looking like they're going to top the coefficient board. But I'm going to read you a stat which I saw earlier from TNT Sport, and I think this is very, very interesting. I think Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans are going to be paying a load of attention to this. So they said Liverpool only needs 6 more wins to be crowned Premier League champions officially. Their 7th game, well, Liverpool have more than 6 games left, but their 7th upcoming game is against Arsenal at Anfield. A potential guard of honour awaits. So if Liverpool win their next 6 games, they will win the league. And their 7th game, the game after they have confirmed themselves as champions, will be against Arsenal, where Arsenal will give Liverpool a guard of honour. That's only if Arsenal don't lose more games, because this could be earlier. This is 6 games if Arsenal win all their games up till that time. So Liverpool maintained a 13-point lead. I think that is, well, it will be 13 if Arsenal win tomorrow, but I think that's the consensus. Especially, I would rather win the league. I actually don't know. I would rather get a guard of honour from Arsenal, but it will be even sweeter to win the league against Arsenal, because a team that's supposed to be champions, according to a lot of their fans, is now handing over the league title to Liverpool. Have just come out of nowhere, and 70 points after this point of the season, I think is fabulous from Arne Slot. I think 27 games have been played for Liverpool. No, 29. Arsenal play 27. They play United tomorrow, so they could cut the gap to 13 again, albeit they have a game in hand. But 6 wins is what wins the league for Liverpool officially if Arsenal win all the games, and the 7th game is against Arsenal. But now I think everybody's believing. Now you can hear the cop, you can hear the entire stadium at Anfield. Now you're going to believe us. We're going to win the league. I think, especially after that victory over Manchester City and that win against Newcastle, I think almost rubber stamps Liverpool as champions. And I think the quicker Liverpool wrap up this league title, they can then focus on, the Champions League. And that's a scary thought because Liverpool can just rest a lot of players in the league and just focus solely on the Champions League. And it could be a historic first season in English football for Arne Slot. Not only a first season in English football for Arne Slot, but it could be a historic season in the history of Liverpool Football Club, led by this beautiful man, this beautiful manager, this tactical genius known as Arne Slot. Adaptability is his best ability, but winning is the Liverpool culture. You put them two together, and Liverpool win trophies. And trophies and more trophies and more trophies are on its way this season. I'm almost certain of it. But guys, Liverpool are going to win the league. 16 points clear. It could be more. It could be less. What else can you say? Liverpool are going to win the title. That's not a statement. That is a fact. Make sure to like. Make sure to subscribe, guys. And I'll see you on the next one.